Hi guys, welcome to Vote Sports. Today let's talk about Manchester City. Gundogan have decided, or Barcelona have decided to let go of Gundogan. He is exploring his option. Now he has a bid from Qatar, from Saudi, but the interesting part of that is that Manchester City is looking to bring back Gundogan. Premiership teams everywhere is shaking now, but let's talk about it for a little bit now. Him leaving Barcelona first, is it a problem of probably don't have enough money, they are trying to reduce their wages, or because he's old or injury prone? What is the problem with him staying? Because Barcelona fans are surprised, they are angry. Why are you letting Gundogan after 1 year in being in Barcelona? What's wrong?
It's crazy for me. I think it's a change of philosophy in the Barcelona setup. You know, the manager who wanted him, who courted him, who wanted to bring him to Barcelona is no longer there, and Hansi Flick is coming in. He feels that he can do without a Gundogan. I think he's going to learn a tough lesson from that decision, but it is what it is. Gundogan could be leaving anytime soon, and he wasn't brought in on a crazy salary, so I don't think Barcelona are looking for money right now. They spent a lot of money.
They're always looking for money.
They spent a lot of money signing in Daniel Olmo. So if they didn't have money to pay salaries, I think you wouldn't be buying Daniel Olmo if you're looking for money to pay salaries. Okay, so that's apart from that, this is also a player that adds a tremendous amount of value to the way Barcelona setup works. Over last season, you saw his impact in terms of the chances he created, the goals he also scored, and big games he showed up for the side. So I think it's a change of philosophy, change of play style. Hansi Flick doesn't want him in the side, and he needs to move on.
Okay, no. So him now coming back to England, because the other part of the option, the rumor is there that Pep has started giving the green light for him to come back to Manchester City. Yeah. He's just been there for a year ago. He's just been away from a year ago, and he was the captain before he left. If he comes back to this City team, do you not think it gives them more advantage
to win the
Premier League again for the 5th time, and the Champions League, to challenge more for the Champions League?
It gives them more advantage to win the Champions League because he was the pivot man in the midfield while they were hit. Everybody likes to give credit to Erling Haaland. Like I said before, they don't sing his praises enough. When they were winning the Champions League, everybody was singing Erling Haaland's praise, but nobody was talking about the workhorse in the midfield alongside with Rodri, creating those chances. Nobody was talking about İlkay Gundogan. He's one of my favorite players. I have said this. I'm not a Man City fan, but I love him. I love him so much. But after he left for Barcelona, I felt like he could have stayed longer with Xavi, because Xavi, he understands the style of play Xavi wants to play. He's the kind of player that plays a tiki-taka style of play. He's born for it. But when you look around and you see Hansi Flick wants to play gang pressing. And I think that is one thing Gundogan does not have so far, even at the Man City side. You see him outpaced by young players, being outpaced by literally everybody in his same team. So I think Hansi Flick wants to play a very high press football, a very fast game, and so on and so forth. But I'm thinking now that you coming into that side to play a very fast game, you need smart players as well that could read the game and know how to tempo the game. If you're playing fast, you need players to play fast with you. If you're playing slow, you need players to reduce the speed. These are players that know how to read the game, and I think Hansi Flick will lose out on this kind of player because he reads the game very well. And if he's not going to be staying, we heard earlier today that Pep would like to have him back. So every Premier League rival right now, including us, because the last time we played against Man City, we considered 4 goals, and Gundogan created.
Us is West Ham, right?
Yes, okay. And West Ham United, we considered 4 goals, and I think we kind of suffered in Gundogan's hand. And after that, it's just normal 2-0 and all of that. But Gundogan is one of the players that I don't want to see him play for Man City anymore, please. But I think this is as a result of him going, or perhaps Hansi Flick going for players that are more direct, more pacey, and perhaps I don't know what to classify him as, the player from Bayern Munich who's not wanted by Vincent Kompany, talking about Goretzka. I think it's as a rumor of that. So if Goretzka is coming to Barca, then maybe Hansi Flick wants him there and not Gundogan in that team.
I don't think that Goretzka is going to. There's no concrete rumors now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because
if you look at Gundogan, what he brought to the Barcelona team, he brought in that flair, that good game. But I don't know what the problem is. But if you now him moving back to England, playing in this Pep side, even though now Pep needs a striker, but he still have a problem with that midfield, because if someone goes on, imagine now if the brother is not there, he can actually play Gundogan as a 8 and he will deliver for him. So he doesn't have that replacement again on the bench.
Yeah.
So adding Gundogan to that team will make that team stronger. Now, apart from getting a striker, bringing back Gundogan, you are a City fan. What does this do to this City team if they bring back Gundogan?
Like, it makes the set whole again, because that's just what it is. You know, I was shocked when he said that Gundogan is not appreciated at Manchester City. Like, it's crazy to me. Who scored the goals for us in the Champions League final? Who is the player who scored the title-winning goal
The
for?
FA Cup final.
Aside that, when you read the news, you're only seeing Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah,
You're not
that
seeing
is the
Gundogan's
news.
name.
Arsenal.
When the media posts anything,
Sorry,
you're seeing
let me
Gundogan
check you on that. Let
and-
me check you on that. The media is not controlled by citizens. They are not the ones writing the story. These are pundits writing the story. And it's not our fault that they aren't writing about Gundogan. We can't do anything about that. We can only do what we do on the pitch. So, for Gundogan coming in, completes that setup in the midfield. Yes, I have been dying to see Gundogan, Bernardo, and Kevin De Bruyne play at least one more season together, or more, if possible. So, and also, coming back now, I think he's going to transition anytime soon, maybe 2-3 years into management or in the backrooms team. It's a fantastic move, if you ask me. Better players coming in, also good for the young lads who are around him. You talk about the Makate, you talk about the Bobs, you talk about the other players in the Riley and younger boys. Fantastic figure to have in the side. Fantastic. So,
okay, guys, Gundogan may be moving back to Manchester City. If he goes back, a big problem for every Premier League team. But let's see what that happens. Barca is saying, as of today, Barca is saying that they don't want him in Barcelona again. So he's assessing his options. He has deals from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar. But Pep probably have put in a call that, oh, Dan, you need to come back to City. We need you here. If he goes back, he's going to make this team strong and probably challenge for the Premier League. Remember, City are going for a record 5th Premier League in a row.